Hey, hello everybody. It's Jamie, and it is day 4 of our Creative Business Owner Basics series. So, if you are just showing up and you did not know that this was a 6-part series, you can see all of the videos here. They're all like at the top of my page here at Creations of Studio 39. You can also go to the event that's here on my page and you can register there, and I've been putting all of the videos right there too. So you can go to there and you can see all of those and you can get caught up on day 1, which was community. Day 2, we talked about rest. And then yesterday we talked about energy. So if you have not seen those, you can get registered. You can go in and you can see all of those in there or here on this page. So I see a few of you popping on. I'm not seeing comments there yet. So let me make sure. There we go. So let me know as ever. Oh, there we go. I see Loretta and Christy popping on with a little emoji there. So, now I see everybody like popping in. So let me know if you've watched 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days. You can just put the number in there. Or if this is your very first time showing up, you can just put a 0 and just give me an idea like how many days you've watched. So I see Terry. Yes, good afternoon. It is a very pretty day here, so it is a nice afternoon. Hey, I see Tamara showing up. Christy's watched all 3. Loretta's watched all 3. Jet's watched all 3. Terry's watched all 3, whether you watched on live or the replay. So we've had 3. Today's day 4. We're talking about probably my most favorite day, like the day that I could talk like about so many things. I'm going to try to keep it to about 30 minutes today, but I'm going to teach you some things today that will be very beneficial to you, that you will be able to use really quick. Like you can start tomorrow and use these things and they will help. So get a piece of paper if you don't and you haven't been writing things down. Today I have some things for you to write down, which will make it a little bit easier for you to remember. But first, I do have some prizes from yesterday. So yesterday there was a challenge. If you don't know about the challenge, register for the event. You get into the little chat that's been very active, and that is where I'm asking you to do some type of challenge. So yesterday I asked people to do something that probably made them feel, I think Judith is on here, and I think that she was the one who said it just was starting to make her nervous even thinking about it. But she did it. So there is this chat group of these awesome action takers. Like they just started right in there taking action on the challenge that I asked them to do, which was to go live inside of this little chat group. So there's a group of people in there, but it's small. They're getting to know each other. So I thought it would be a good starting place to feel comfortable doing a little bit of a live video. And it actually ended up being a recorded video, right? Terry just squeaked in. Terry, I saw where you just did your video in there. I did see it. And I had 16 people do a little live video inside of that chat. And they were awesome. They just the fact that you pressed a video and maybe made you feel a little uncomfortable, a little bit nervous. You did it. And I have a question. If all 16 of you are on here, and how many of you are? Some of you said you felt kind of nervous. Some of you said that you felt anxious. Maybe you were very critical of the video. But those of you who did the video, or really anyone who has ever done something that has felt uncomfortable, like it can be done a live video, whatever it might be. I want to ask you this question because I asked you to say your name, where you're from, and how you felt at the time. And I wonder if the feeling that you were feeling was that you felt energized. Like your brain does actually not know the difference in how it reacts. Physiology, I think I don't know. physiologically, the difference between excitement and fear, energy and like no energy. Like, if you want to be extreme, like being alive and not being alive, like it doesn't, that's not a good analogy there, but you know what I mean? Like your body does not know the difference between that excitement that you felt, that anxiety, that anxiousness. It's the story that you tell yourself about translating what that feeling that you're feeling means. Probably when you went live, you could have told yourself, I was excited, right? And most of you, all of you that took action and did your video, you came across as excited. So I just tell you that to tell you that all of you who did the video, I just want to just like give yourself a little pat on the back that you did that and you accomplished that. And it may have been a little bit scary. So I told you yesterday that I was going to pick 3 people because it was day 3 to get 33 posts that I have created that will save you time, save you energy, and you can use them to put on your business page. So you can actually use all of the March posts and you can put them onto your business page. This is something that I'm starting to offer that you can actually purchase before the beginning of the month. And I'm starting to have people use those. But I'm going to give 3 people from those 16 who participated yesterday. And let me make sure I have the names correct here because I did pick the 3 people. And I just picked randomly. I'm not going to try to judge like the videos, like that's not what it's about. It's about you taking action and doing the challenges. So I'm not judging any of those at all. So the 3 people that I picked, one, where do I have the names written down? Oh, one is Loretta Bell. It shows up as Loretta Lynn. So everybody congratulate Loretta. So Loretta is number 1. The second person is, I just saw her name pop up, is Jet Asper. So Jet, I think that she has got some of my thought for the day when I feel afraid or set my mind. Oh, that's a good one, Jet. So Jet is person number 2. And then the third person who I'm going to send the 33 posts to, yes, I know there are 31 days in March, but I sent 2 bonus posts that you can post at some other time. And the third one is Judith. I believe I'm saying your name correctly. She did a video, last name Gabrielle. So you guys can tell Loretta and Judith and Jet, congratulations. I will get your emails to get to you those posts. I don't think any of the 3 of you have gotten those posts before. So I will email those to you and you can schedule those on your business page, put those on your business page, and that will save you some time and energy. So I am going to have a challenge for you today, but I have another question. So if you watch the videos, and I saw somebody ask about how do we watch the other videos? Where was that? Oh, Brandy says she finally gets to watch live. Oh, good. So maybe she watched the other videos on replay. But Yuda says congratulations. Oh, you're welcome. So thank you for participating. Jamie's got all the little hat emoji things. So because yesterday we did do a little celebration too. So today I'm actually going to do 4, and it's going to go along with what we're going to be talking about today, which, like I said, is probably one of my not only favorite things, but one of the things that I have used for, I was actually counting back, it's been like 20 years that I've been using a version of this core concept that I believe was one of the ways that I have been able to have success in this business that I started 2 years ago. So this that I'm going to be giving 4 of these away, before I tell you what it is, and I think that all of you will want to participate once I show you this and tell you how much it has benefited me and how it goes along with what I'm going to teach you today. I have a question for you. And I have a question about whether you have ever had had some kind of coincidence happen? Have you ever had something that just feels like a coincidence that you couldn't explain it? It didn't even seem to make sense. Like, have you ever had like some kind of coincidence happen that you weren't expecting, you couldn't explain it, like any kind of coincidence like that? So your comments kind of will go for a little bit and then they kind of like pause. So I'm going to wait until you I see a few answers over there, but I'm just kind of wondering if you've ever had some kind of coincidence like that that you can't really explain. You can't, um, put your finger on why it may have happened. So, oh, Christy says many times in her life. Loretta says yes. Don't ask me what. I don't need to know what, Loretta. So I want to tell you a little story, and this ties into what I'm going to teach you today, about this AM routine. That's what I'm calling today's. It's my AM routine, and I was thinking back, and I kind of became introduced, I guess, to a morning routine at a very, I would say, like a low point, where I was just feeling like lots of heaviness. That's probably like the easiest way to describe. And I was kind of introduced to this morning routine by way of a daily devotional, more or less. So you can tell me in the chat there if you have a like a daily devotional that you do, some kind of a daily reading or something that you do. So I was sitting there one morning and I would get up like at about 5:30 in the morning before I would go. At the time I was teaching full time, so I got up a little bit earlier and needed that time to read this daily devotional, and sometimes I would like write in my journal. And so while I was writing, I realized that I did not have an idea for a project for I think it was like my advanced ceramics class that I was teaching at the time. I realized I didn't have an idea. And I was kind of like journaling through, and I was trying to kind of like journal and figure out an idea. And I know that I have that journal somewhere, and I'd probably like have to look up, and I know about what time it was, when during that year. It was back in 2002, so it's been almost 20 years. And I wrote down something about that it was like I couldn't figure it out. Like it was kind of like a puzzle, right? Like I couldn't figure out this puzzle of like how to put it together of what I wanted to do. And if you noticed, in the event for this series, there are puzzle pieces. Like, tell me in the comments if anybody noticed those puzzle pieces. And they're in like pink, purple, and blue. So there's like these couple of puzzle pieces. So I want to tell you that while I was doing this kind of new morning routine, I was reading this devotional, I was kind of writing in my journal and taking this quiet time in the morning for myself. I want you to know that I was sitting in a chair and I had walked in this room. Maybe it was kind of dark. And all of a sudden, I looked down on the floor. And I am not lying to you when I say that there were pieces of puzzle all over the floor. And I do not remember those puzzle pieces there before. And it just kind of confirmed for me that, oh, I ended up doing this awesome project from morning until when I had my advanced ceramics class, where they had to use a puzzle piece, because these puzzle pieces that were on the floor were these where you could make your own puzzle and put it together. And I say all of that to say the morning routine that I started 20 years ago, it looks a little bit different today, but there are things that happen when you put effort into something, because your effort is what gives you the evidence to believe. I kind of said that in my mind earlier today, and I actually like the way that it just kind of like came out of my head. Effort is what gives you evidence to believe. Because what happened during that year is I was putting in the effort towards this morning routine, and lots of coincidences started to happen. Lots of things from that morning routine would set up my day to be more productive, to be happier, to feel more alive, to feel, even though my circumstances had not really changed that much. They were still very heavy. But what changed was how I looked at the day because of that morning routine, right? Reading that little devotional, having that quiet time in the morning to quiet myself, and journaling, those three things helped me to go through the day having more peace and having just a different attitude about and belief about what was going on. And that's something really for 20 years that I've done in some type of way. And I really, really believe that that is one of the things that has helped me to be successful in my business these past 2 years. So I have another question for you here. Oh, Terry said that she saw the puzzle pieces and she wondered why. So there'll be more of the puzzle pieces I'll tell you about, but I remember that story, and puzzle pieces have always kind of stood out to me ever since that coincidence, right? Because I don't really believe in coincidences so much, but that's another story there. But I have this question for you here. Do you believe that you have time in the morning for a morning routine? Do you believe that you have, we'll say, extra time? If you don't already have some type of morning routine, and I'll qualify that and add to that, a morning routine that serves you, a morning routine that, like, I'm not talking about just brushing your teeth. Like, yes, that's a routine that you go through, but something, okay, so brushing your teeth actually does serve you because you need to brush your teeth in the morning. But I'm saying like something that actually, helps you to go through the day as a better person, like that kind of serving you. So Christina says, yes, she has time. Christy says, yes, she has time to have a morning routine. Oh, listen to Jamie here. You have to have time as long as you make the time. So that is very good, Jamie. I love that. So we talked a little bit yesterday about the story that you tell yourself, and I kind of called some people out on their BS, right? Their belief system about whether they whether they could do tech. And if you remember the word that I gave to you yesterday to add after that, you can type that in the comments there for anybody who didn't watch yesterday. For us creatives, especially, some people like to say we hate tech or we're not any good at tech or things like that. So I see a couple. Oh, there you go. Christy says yet. So we're not good at tech yet. That was the word that I gave to you. So the story that you tell yourself, if maybe you don't have enough time, is really just a story because, like Jamie said, you would make the time if you see the value in it. And that was what happened that first year for me. I started to see the value in taking that extra time for myself, which was kind of a sacrifice. I was getting up even a little bit earlier, right, so that I could have that extra time. But I started to see the value in it because I showed up as a more peaceful person during the day, even though I had these circumstances happen, right, that felt very heavy and things like that. So morning routine. Here is what I want you to write down to remember today. And I'm going to tell you this acronym. I like acronyms to help me remember things. I'm going to tell you what these parts of the acronym are. And I'm going to tell you what it is that I'm giving away today. If you complete the challenge, you can be possibly be one of the 4 people who gets this. And this is, you want to stick around to see this, because I believe that this is probably my favorite prize and favorite thing. And this will not be one of the things that are added into the Create course that I will be telling more about on Sunday. So this is just today. You have to complete this challenge to be entered in to be able to win this particular thing. So I want you to write down the acronym and leave space. So write it going down. I didn't write it on a piece of paper, but write these letters going down, so then you can write a little bit beside each what they are. So I want you to write the word savers. S-A-V as in Victor, E-R-S. Savers. And this is not my word. I do like to come up with acronyms, but savers is not my word. I was introduced probably in 2016 sometime. If you watch the other couple of days, I talked about a network marketing company that I got involved in at that time. And that was really when I got introduced more to like personal development. And hey there, Bev. I hear that you're already in Oklahoma, so I'm glad that you got there safe. So Loretta says now she wants it. You will. So, and I don't think that too many of you probably have this, but Loretta says, yes, I use tech like a boss. That's what we figured out was another one yesterday. So the word savers stands for the 6 different, right? Is that 6? Yes, 6 different things to have as part of your morning routine. So you have the word savers. You can let me know when you have that in there. Then I will tell you what those 6 things stand for. So tell me that you've written that down, and I will show you here in a second what it is that I decided to give away. I kind of hesitated on this one because I thought, but I'm just going to go ahead because it's one of my most favorite things. So tell me when you have the word savers written down, so you have a little bit of space in between, for each letter to be able to write down. And then I will tell you what each one of those 6 things stand for. So, and I'm going to take a drink. So, I'm not drinking my yellow energy drink today. I'm drinking some raspberry Gold Peak tea, which is really, really good. So, okay, Brandy said she's got it. Tamara's got it written down. I see. Hey there, Sylvia. I haven't seen you on with us. So Jet says that she's ready. So, Christy sounds like she has read some personal development. So yes, this Savers 6-part is from the morning Miracle Morning. Is it Morning Miracle or Miracle Morning? I was thinking it was Miracle Morning. So the author of Miracle Morning is Hal Elrod, E-L-R-O-D. So that's where I became familiar, and I've kind of used that Savers and kind of like made it my own. And that's one of the things that we're going to be doing in the Create course is taking this concept of an AM routine and making it yours. So I've picked out the things that serve me for where I am right now, for what I'm doing right now, my business that I'm running, for those things. And so we're going to develop inside that course your morning routine that works for you. And I want to tell you what these 6 things stand for. So it looks like most of you have them written down. Marion did a little check mark. There we go. So yeah, and the Miracle Morning, I think it is Miracle Morning. I think you're right, Christy. You can read more about that. I think that he has stuff online, website, all that kind of stuff. But the first thing is silence. You want to start your day in silence. And there are, that can mean, no radio on, no TV, nothing, no electronics. It could also mean prayer. It can mean meditation. So there are all kinds of things, but you want to start it in silence. You have control over whether It should start in silence, right? The next one is affirmations. So each one of these letters stand for the first letter of the word, that they stand for. So affirmations, and I have learned specific ways to be able to make affirmations really work for you. So that'll be something that we'll go through the course a little bit more too, but write that down, affirmations. So saying something, even doing something. I've learned different techniques where it's a physical affirmation, and those have become really powerful too. So silence, affirmations, and I see some people typing those in the comments so that you can kind of come back to them and be able to see those. The third one is visualization. Going through and visualizing. I mean, there have been studies about especially athletes who visualize what it feels like to cross that finish line, and they really visualize that, right? If some of you took my vision board workshop a couple of months ago, we created a visual representation of our perfect day. So visualizing you going through your day and doing what it is that you needed to. So visualization, that's hard to say all together. That's the V. And then E is exercise, some type of exercise. And I was just talking with somebody about, I think it was in my video from yesterday, about that creates energy. So that ties into yesterday, right? Exercise. And then we have the R is to read, some kind of reading, not like a fictional book, like some kind of reading that betters you as a person. So I use the term personal development is kind of the word that I've learned for that. And then the last thing to have an S is scribe. So journaling is what I, kind of like to think of that. But writing some things down, journaling, like processing, reflecting, like all of the things with journaling. So, or scribing. So you have silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribe. I have them written down over here because I have learned what things work for me, what order work for me. How long going through all of those 6 things do you think that would take you? How much time do you think that would take you? To start in silence, to read some affirmations, to visualize your day, exercise. What's like the least amount of time do you think that would take you? And then you've got to read and then to journal a little bit. What do you think the amount of time that it would take you? Because there are some mornings when I have more time than others, right? There are some mornings when I have a lot of time, and some when it would even actually go into the afternoon. So, let's see. Linda says no idea. That's okay. Loretta says 5 to 10 minutes. Jet says an hour. Those are the 3 that I see so far right now. Your morning routine can take any amount of time that you need for it to take. But you can actually do it in a short amount of time. You can actually do it really quickly, depending on like how much time you're taking in each one of those. I mean, to say a prayer really quickly, to start in silence, I mean, that's really quick. Affirmation, it can be one affirmation, you read it, that's really quick. So you're only up to a couple minutes. Visualizing your day, that can be pretty quick. The exercise, you can do 10 push-ups, 10 jumping jacks pretty quick. So even that amount of exercise, getting your blood pumping and getting your body moving, that can be pretty quick. Reading, that can be really even a pretty short reading of something, like a scripture, a paragraph in a book. I mean, it can be something pretty short and quick. And then taking a few minutes to write something down, even if it's just writing down what you're grateful for the day, right? Because if you were here the other day, I said, gratitude is the attitude that you need to succeed, right? So if you weren't here for, I believe that was on day 2 that I talked about that. just taking a minute to write down something that you're grateful for. You could really do that morning routine in 5 minutes. So using the excuse that you don't have time is an excuse, because you do have time for 5 minutes, right? But I see like Yuta saying that it could take an hour, Brandy's or 30 minutes, 30 minutes, Laurel's like an hour. It could. If you have a Saturday morning where you have an hour, that's like then maybe there are certain days of the week that you take more time for that, right? So one of the things that I used probably back in 2016 or so, let me see when it was written here, and then I could probably tell you a little bit more. So it was written in 2017, so it must have been in 17. So in 2017, I started a new kind of morning routine. I changed things up a little bit because I started a new workout program where one of the things that I was going to do was to get up and actually have something to eat right away, let that digest, and then work out, which was a switch up from what I would normally get up and just go right to working out. So I had that extra time in the morning. I'm like, well, now I've got a little bit more time for my morning routine. And I started reading a book, and it was a daily, I would say, devotional, but it's a little bit more than that. And it actually meets several of these things that are in Savers here. And the book is one of the things that I'm going to give away. If you are one of the people who completes the challenge, I'm going to pick 4 from the people who meet the challenge since we're in day 4. And it is the book called 100 Days to Brave. It's by Annie Downs. And I have probably went through this book 4 or 5 times. 100 days is a commitment to go through. I will tell you the tagline for this book says, "Devotions for Unlocking Your Most Courageous Self." So you can find Annie out on social media, and she's fun to listen to. She's got this quirky, fun voice, and she has a podcast, and you can go find her. But one of the reasons that I like this book is because, it's about being brave. So that can kind of challenge some people there, right? But I think several of us have agreed over the past couple of days, we need somebody to kind of challenge us a little bit. We're all hardwired that we want to grow, right? Even if we don't like change, we desire to grow and be a better person. That's kind of hardwired into us. But one of the things that I like about this book is it does meet several of those things that are on the list of the Savers. So she has a scripture at the beginning. So that meets the very first one there of starting in silence. She has the reading that's in there, which is the R, right? So she kind of gives a little story. She usually relates the scripture and how that, but then what I really like about this one, and is what made such a difference, is there's always a challenge at the end. So I've been giving challenges over the past couple of days, and the challenge, taking action, doing something with what you've read, that's really where the changes happen. So I think that somebody was just asking, it's called 100 Days to Brave, and it's by Annie F. Downs. So move that one there. So are you ready for the challenge? I want you to go ahead. Part of the challenge is you have to do the takeaway. So put in the comments there a takeaway that you've gotten from today. If it is just a revelation that you have a morning routine, if that is something new, if this idea of having a morning routine is actually taking time out, and taking that time is something that could actually help you in your business, could help you during the day, could help you be a more peaceful person? Like, is that so? What is the takeaway that you've had from today? And Loretta just says the takeaway is savers. So I've never heard that term before. So it's savers and having. I just think it's easier to remember things in acronyms sometimes. So I have the acronym to be able to remember things. So that is the first thing of the challenge for you today. The second thing, I want you to actually write out your morning routine that you think that would serve you. I want you to write it out on a piece of paper, and instead of being in the challenge, remember I told you this is my most favorite thing that I'm giving away, and I'm giving away 4 of these. I will actually send you the actual book. So this is more than some of the things that I've had in the past. I'm going to ask you to take a picture with your list, with your pretty face in the picture, and I'm going to ask you to make a post on your page, on your profile, like on your own personal profile page. So sometimes people use that word differently. So I want you to make a post, and I just want you to put this on the post. So you can type this in here. I want you to put, I will commit to my savers. I will commit to my savers. You don't need to put anything else in there. Well, I do want you to put the hashtag. I want you to put the hashtag so I can find it. Put hashtag CBOB4 because we're on day 4. So on your personal profile, make out your list. Make out your list of your savers. I want you to take a picture. Nobody will see it in the picture. You can just hold it. Nobody's going to look at it to read it. But I want you to have it in the picture. I want you to take a selfie with you in the picture with your written out morning routine. And I just want you to make a post that says, I will commit to my savers, and then put the hashtag CBOB4 on there. So Jamie says the challenge is accepted. I love it, Jamie. She's already like, yesterday after the video was over, I had people like immediately going into the little chat there and doing their little videos. So you can put the things in there in the chat if you want, but I want you to take a big step and put it on your personal profile and say, I will commit to my savers. SAVERS. You might get some people asking you what that means. And then if you want to tell them about this, there's still going to be 2 more days that they can watch, and you can ask them to come over here. And that's where you can answer questions, and you can tell them about what you've been learning and what your favorite day is, and whatever you want to tell them. So that is your challenge for today, is to put your takeaway in here. So yes, Sylvia, it is because CBOB is the Creative Business Owner Basics. So it's an acronym, right? And then it's day 4. So hashtag CBOB4. And no spaces in there, Sylvia, because then I won't be able to find it. So on Facebook, one of the things that you can do is you can search those hashtags. So I'll be able to search those so that I know who completed that challenge. So I've been making a list every day of who's been completing those challenges. So there are 2 more days in the series. I am going to be live tomorrow at 3:00 and on Sunday at 3:00. And I want to give you I'm already at like 40 minutes. So I want to give you, and because I could talk about the whole morning routine, so I'm keeping it because I can't tell you everything about like all of the morning routine pieces. But inside the Create course that I'm going to tell you more about on Sunday, that is one of the things that we're going to go through. And one of the things that I wanted to give you just a little preview about, because I'm realizing from the chat that's going on of the people this week who have been involved in that chat and doing the challenges and talking, and they're starting to really connect, right? If you were here for day 1, it was about community and connecting and having that community of people that get you, that understand where you are, that are experiencing the same things that you are, they're they're craving that. Like I can see that there's this need for them to get together, and they've been talking about like forming their own little like group. And I love that they're so excited about that. And I wanted to tell you that one of the things that I'm going to offer inside of the course, where I'll be able to guide you through this 20 years of experience that I have with the morning routine and these 6 parts that we're going over during this series, is that group that all of you are wanting. So if those of you who are in the chat who have been talking about that group could just hold out until day 6 and I tell you a little bit more about the course, because I took a screenshot today of my groups, and I think that I'm going to post this somewhere, but I'm just going to tell you, I don't know how many groups you are in on Facebook, but I did a screenshot. I'm in 567 groups. Do you see that right there? 567. I don't need another group. I don't know how many groups you are in, but so if you could just hold out until day 6, until you make the decision whether you want to be in the course that I'm going to offer to you, because you've already kind of connected over this series, just hold out, finish the series, finish the challenges in there, keep chatting in that group in there, and just hold out until then to see if what I'm going to be offering to you is going to serve you in the way that you're looking for. Because here's the one little thing that I will tell you before I finish off today. So I know Laura says she's just like loving the little community. It has. It's been so much fun to see everybody like in there chatting. So Laura, you can just put it in writing. Just take a photo. Just take your photo with your paper where you have written down, and then just put, I will commit to my savers with the hashtag. So it doesn't, no, I'm not asking you to go live. Gosh, that would probably step out of your comfort zone for quite a lot of you. So yeah, so I'm not asking to do that. So Tamara said that she's excited to learn. I love that. Cool beans. That's so fun. So I was thinking that I was going to say one other thing, and then you guys almost like, about the groups. Yes. So Terry says she's in 137. So she already knows how many she's in. So so do the challenge, get involved, hold off until day 6, and I will tell you more about that on Sunday, that what I'm going to be offering, because all of these things that I'm breaking down for you during this 6-day series, they're just kind of like a little taste of what I'm going to offer more to you. I know what I was going to say, but I'm going to offer like more to you during the course. I'll just say this little part about when you get into groups, it is great to have groups of people that have the same interests of you, that have the same, they're in like the same place. But you want to be careful with that, because I think that those of you who have showed up in this series and who have showed up all this week, and you're getting value from the group, and we're going to talk more tomorrow about the thoughts that you have. So tomorrow is thoughts and mindset. So it's a big day tomorrow, and we're going to talk a little bit about more of your BS, and those things. And what happens sometimes when you just get in a group of people who, yes, you connect with, and they're in the same place as you. Have you ever heard that you become the 5 people that you hang out with? So I believe that most of you showed up here because you want to get to a different place. You want to have success more than you've had already. You you want to achieve something more than you've done now. Because if nothing changes, right? You're hanging out in this group of people that are all kind of where you are, that are all, yes, you have interests together, but you're all, if nothing changes, then nothing changes. So unless you have someone who is a little bit farther ahead than you, who has the experience, the expertise, the you you probably will stay where you are. And I'm just like being completely honest because I've experienced that. I've been in accountability groups. I've been in support groups, community groups, things like that. And I really don't grow in them. I don't have somebody pushing me and challenging me to get to another place. So I just want to just you can use that for any type of there's a difference between having a social group, because who's going to hold each other accountable in a social group? Like it's just different. So I just want to caution about that I've told a few people in that chat group, I don't have control whether you want to go out and do that, but I just want you to ask yourself if the reason that you want to do that is so that you stay the same, or do you want to challenge yourself and be coached and mentored through something like this course that I'm going to offer, or a program, or where you'll actually change. So I just kind of want to leave you with that a little bit. And I do want to tell you this quote here that I have been saying every day, that remember that you get to decide that you can create the life you love, because you can. And yesterday I added, if you believe it. So we will definitely talk more about beliefs tomorrow. So thanks everybody for showing up, and hopefully I will see you again tomorrow. And I will see a lot of you posting pictures today with your savers, and you put on your picture, I will commit to my savers, with the hashtag CBOB4. So I will see you guys tomorrow.